So today I'm going to tear down and try and repair this moving head light fixture. When I got it, it only had this sticker on that said it's not working, and the camera obviously is not focusing. And all I note is that it doesn't go on. I don't know much about moving headlights, but it has a sticker that says HMI 575. I believe that is the bulb model number, and on the side it only says spot 575 moving head. On the front it has a 3-pin DMX inputs and outputs, and on the other side it has 4 7-segment displays with 4 buttons. Strangely enough, the power cord is directly connected. It doesn't have a IEC connector like most moving heads do, or actually most lighting fixtures do. Okay, so the first thing that I normally check is the fuse, and when I opened it, it has no fuse inside. I really hope that the only problem that this thing has is that it doesn't have a fuse. That would explain why it's not going on. Just out of curiosity, I want to see what the bulb looks like that this thing uses. Now, removing the bulb looks easy enough. I just have to remove these 4 screws. Okay, so this is the bulb. I'm gonna try my best not to touch it with my hand, but yeah. Okay, so this is the this is the tilt motor. Okay, so I finally figured out how to remove these panels. Okay, so I'm just showing you the end stop mechanism. I found it quite interesting because of this. The head can pan about 540 degrees, I think, and I've always wondered how the mechanism works. So there's a pin on this one gear that hits this lever, and when it turns, eventually this pin will hit this lever, and then it will move until it hits the end stop switch, and then the motor will stop, and then it can turn a full 360, and then it can turn another 270 more or less degrees until it hits that physical end stop. Okay, so the main reason this thing is so heavy is because of this bloody huge transformer, and I think that transformer is for the lamp itself, since it also has a second transformer, smaller one, which I think directly goes to the control circuitry. Okay, so on the inside I think this is the main microprocessor. Unfortunately I'm not familiar with it. Next to it is a 74HC245. I'm not familiar with that chip. Next to this is I think that's National Semiconductor. It's just a 75176, or it's a 485 converter chip that handles all the DMX. Next to it, if you look closely, there's a small mic and a LM358N op amp. All of these are 74HC573 latch chips. I see on latching chips, and over here is a LM324, and I think that's a quad op amp. And and it even has a 555 timer. Now I'm actually not sure how the power works, but here's a rectifier, a few fuses, and I believe these heatsinks, these must be the separate drivers. Unfortunately, I'm not going to take out the board if it's not necessary, so I'm probably not sure what they use to drive these stepper motors, but they appear to be dip sockets. Here it might be easier to see the individual gobos. I'm not sure if this is the focus or zoom mechanism, but it's just a stepper motor with an arm that moves the lens about 4 or 5, not even 4, about 4 centimeters backwards and forwards. Just something interesting to note, the wash light is actually not very well balanced. If you push it and you leave it, the bottom part is a lot heavier and it moves downwards. This is maybe due to the fact that it isn't mounted with motors and stuff like the spotlight is. The spotlight is very well balanced and it takes minimum effort to move him, and it more or less stays in place wherever you put it. Having the head balanced makes it easier for the motor to move the entire mechanism, and it reduces strain on the motor and the electronics itself. Both units use these capacitors to ignite their bulbs, and these units are pretty much the same, except for the fact that the Spot has more motors and stuff inside of it. They use exactly the same fan, just 220mm fans. This fan needs to be replaced because it's not spinning properly, but yeah, they also use the same. These units both use the same bulb, HMI 575 bulb, more or less, or 575 HR bulb from Philips. And they just have a huge transformer on the inside, like you'd see in the teardown videos, that powers the bulbs. Okay, so this is the inside of the lamp module. This is the arc lamp, the gas discharge 575 lamp. Fortunately, I'm not that familiar with these lamps. At the back it has a reflector, it's a piece of solid aluminium, and then 2 lenses in front and a temperature cutout sensor thing. Probably cuts out the power to the bulb if it overheats. And this is the same on both the wash and the spotlight bottle. So, looking at the spotlight, its main lens is about 80 centimeters in diameter, and it is a standard type lens that you are used to. On the first layer, it has a shutter mechanism, and it has a prism mechanism which uses 2 motors, one to put the prism in place and another one to rotate the prism. Going down one layer, there is a lens mechanism with a stepper motor on the bottom that moves it backwards and forwards. It has only one color wheel, but it has a gobo wheel with rotating gobos. Unfortunately, these gobos don't appear to be user replaceable, but I'm sure if you spend enough time you'd be able to put in your own custom gobos if you really wanted to. This unit has, let me quickly count, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stepper motors in the head itself. and it has two fans, one on this side and one on the other side. Okay, so I think I may have got it working. I think the fuse is just blown. So when I plug it in, the bulb lights and it starts to move. Okay, so this is just testing the light. So these are the bulbs that these lights use. The bottom one is from the fixture that I just repaired, and the top one's just a test bulb from another fixture. This is the fan from the other side, and it does not spin at all. It's stuck and it definitely needs to be replaced. As a matter of course, I bought two of these Jamicon fans, and I'm going to replace both of these fans with these new Jamicon fans. The first channel is color. From the bottom it starts from white, it's red, yellow, blue, green, magenta, cyan, orange, and then the last bit of a faded is the speed of fading between the colors to the top where it just goes crazy. The second fader is the gobo. It selects the gobo from open to this first gobo with no color added, to the second gobo, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and then last bit, like with colors, is just a sweep through all the different gobos. Can leave it on this gobo. The third channel is rotation. At the bottom it's still just a little bit above it, it's full speed in one direction until you go to the top where it's in the middle where it's the equilibrium, and when you go to the top it's speed to in the other direction. The fourth channel is a mix between the shutter and strobe function. The first half of a shutter, or the first half of a fader movement, is the shutter, and then the top half is the strobe function. And at the exact top, it is just full on. Now the fifth channel is the pan. The sixth channel is the tilt. The seventh channel, I think it's dead. It doesn't do anything. The eighth channel is the selection between a single object. Sorry, just want to put this in the center again. The eighth channel is the you choose between the prism and the no prism. Just going to put the prism on for now. The ninth channel selects the speed at which a prism rotates. At the bottom it stands still. Just a little bit above it, it moves extremely fast. And as you move to the top, it starts slowing down until it reaches equilibrium, and then it will start moving backwards until you go push your fader to the exact top. So channel 10 is focus. Unfortunately, the moving edge is about 2 meters away from the ceiling, so it isn't focusing at all. And the 11th channel is reset. When you activate it, the moving head will just reset all the stepper motors to their default location. It will move them to the end stop, so it yeah, it knows exactly where it is. I'll activate that. And then just moves back to the values that it got from the DMX board. And in total it uses 11 channels, yeah. Okay, so this is just to show the rotation speed. Okay, just to give an idea of the dimming. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to watch more videos like this, please subscribe. Thank you, enjoy your day.